recognize the presence of God through action. Because I am able to act and do anything because I am alive. A dead one, even dead Einstein cannot talk, think. Only when that person is alive, the glory of that individual is known to the world. So what is that life within us? What is that which makes me who I am and makes you who you are? What is that which makes the tree what it is? If you take a seed of a tree and then look at within it, can you see life in that? You cannot. Cut the body into many parts, you will not see life. But we are alive. What is that life? This is the Upanishadic discussion. What is life, therefore? Is it there? In which part of the body it is there? In which part of the tree is the life? And you and I cannot decide how the tree should be. The leaves and the flowers and the fruits and other things, you and I don't design it. We are trying to. Genetically modifying all those things we are trying to do. But the life within is not decided by us. So that Ishvaraha who is sitting within us, as in the 15th chapter he says, Mama eva amshaha jiva bhuta sanatana. Jiva loke, mama evamsha jiva loke, jiva bhuta sanatana. I am the one in the form of a jiva in you. And in this world of human, I am the one who is each one of you. Krishna says. So then, that presence within us can be known when we engage in action as a dedication to God. The mind becomes calm and quiet and one-pointed, come to recognize that the Lord is the one who is working through me as well as each one of you. Teneshasya vidiyatam. And to thus engage in action as a dedication to God, one must come out of all other preoccupations with pleasures. Apachidihi kamye madistyatam. The fourth statement he makes. Again and again look at it, how my mind is not able to engage in recognizing the God's presence in me. Is it because my mind is seeking indulgence and pleasures, which is only entertainment of the senses? So when I thus recognize that it is the Lord who is present in me, who is making me who I am, I must be grateful. I must be thankful. I must feel the grace that is going on. Because of whom I am able to do everything. Because of whom I am able to receive everything. Because of whom I am able to experience everything. Therefore, that recognition can take place when my mind is available. My mind is available when it is not preoccupied. My mind's preoccupation is in pursuing the indulgences of the senses. Therefore, kamye madistyajatam. Even to achieve anything in this world, should you not have the discipline of focusing and leaving aside other things for a while at least? So, in the spiritual pursuit, it is all the more necessary that we must exclusively make ourselves available to recognize the Lord within. Paridhuyatam. Once you recognize that the pleasure-seeking mind is the one which is sinful. Sin is not committed in general by anybody until he becomes greedy. Seeing, hearing, tasting, smelling, touching, these are all the functions of the senses. They are not wrong. But when you indulge and want more and more, you transgress. You go beyond the limits. When you go beyond the limits, you cannot but go against the law. Eating is fine, but stealing and eating is not correct. Correct or not? You want to eat, fine. Nobody stops, you should not eat. Nobody says you should not eat. But from others' plate is sin. This is not sufficient. I want more. And the more and more when we seek things from the world, we cannot but commit the sin. Gurudev calls it as a self-insulting actions. It's called sin. So therefore, he says, Papa Oga, collection of sins, Pariduyatam, give up the sinful action of transgressing your own dharma, your own integrity, your own wisdom, your own knowledge, your own balance. You go beyond the limits and you invariably commit wrong things. Papoga pariduyatam, and remind yourself, the worldly pleasures are there but temporary. Bhavasuke doshonu sandhiyatam. Bhavasuke, the worldly pleasures, in that dosha means a defect of impermanence, sandhiyatam, recognize that. So ever remember that joys and pleasures of the life are only limited to this level of ability of the senses. How much you can eat is depending upon what? How good is the food? How much your stomach can take? How much tasty is the food? Beyond certain limit, you found that it is, you'll find that it is a pain. How many rasgullas can you eat at the same time? 5, 6, 8, 10, 15, 20, 25. Beyond certain point, it is a pain. Everything has got a limit. So this limitation you should recognize, and don't go to the limit and suffer. Be limited and enjoy. So the world enjoyment is there, but recognize its limitation. Bhavasuke doshonu sandhiyatam. And on the other hand, when you go beyond the limit, you will invariably commit sin also. That is also he cautions there. Bhavasuke, that's then seventh point here he makes. Develop love for the inner self. Develop love for God's presence in you. That is what is called devotion. The devotion happens only when we recognize that the Lord within me, gracing me all the time, is the most beautiful, most lovable one. In fact, Upanishad very clearly says that even when you say, I love you to anybody else, you are actually not loving that person, but the presence. If the same person is dead and lying down as a corpse, love is not there. The beautiful flower offered to the Lord is beautiful only that it is alive. When it is shrunk and gone and dead, you throw it immediately to the dustbin, to the trash. Is it not? The same flower which you so joyfully placed in your vase is a waste. When? It is lost its life. So long as his presence is there, you are Shiva. When he is not there, you are Shava. Shiva gone, only Shava will remain. So what is that actually you are loving? You are loving that presence, shrouded by, covered by other things. So when we recognize beyond this external covering, I am loving the presence there, then that very presence is in me. That life which is there in that person whom I love is the same presence in me. When I recognize that, I love universally everyone. Because in the same one which is in me, in everyone. That very presence is called Atman. Atma Ichcha Vyavasiyatam. Cultivate the love for the self. Once you do that, then you know all other pursuits are secondary. Nichakrihat turnam vinirgamyatam. From all other possessiveness, attachment and other entanglements, you slowly see that how they are there as an individual, for me as a husband, a wife, etc. But my main love is for the self. Some people say, Swamiji, as a sannyasin you can do, I am a grihastha. I cannot do that. My dear, once you recognize that the lovable, most beautiful presence is in you, you can start loving others much better. You will be able to love everybody much better than before. Why? Because you see yourself in them. Earlier you are seeing him, he as him, her as her, dog as dog, cat as cat. Now you see the dog as your own presence. Is it not how much time you spent early in the morning in front of the mirror? At least an hour? Yes or no? At least totally whole day, at least an hour. Calculate 10 minutes every time. Why? Because I love myself. So when I see myself in others, the same love which I have for myself, looking at myself, is the same love I will be able to see when experiencing meeting everyone. So this self-love makes us the universal love. So don't say that when I develop love for the Lord within, I will start hating others. No. It will be the other way around. You will start enjoying everybody's presence as God's presence. That's what he says. Nijagrihat turnam vinirkamyana. Come out of the hold of ego, which always tries to hold you as an individual. So these are the 8 steps he gives. Daily study of scriptures is daily to be undertaken for enhancing your knowledge. Vedo nityamadiyadam. Engage in action which represents or expresses your knowledge. Tadudidam karma svanushthiyatam. Through that, recognize the presence of the Lord. Teneshasya vidiyatam. Know that what occupies me is the bhavasukha. Bhavasuke doshonu santiyatam. Then the 5th one he says, Papoga pariduyatam. Come out of the sinful actions. Thoughts, bhavasuke doshonu santiyatam, which is Atmaicha vyavasiyatam. Develop love for the self. And finally, come out of the hold of ego. Support from somebody who knows about it. We will not have that inspiration to do that. We are not self-driven. Most of the time we have to be driven by others. Somebody has to push us. Many of the parents come and say, Swamiji, my child doesn't have any motivation at all. Why it is so? Because there is no inspiring person around them. If there is a person who can inspire you, then it is easy for us to emulate those qualities. What he says in the next verse is, Sangasatsu vidhiyatam bhagavato bhaktir dhrudhadiyatam. Satsu sangaha vidhiyatam. What is known as satsanga. Develop the taste for company of the right people. We are what our friends make us to be most of the time. That's why they say, show your friends, I'll tell you about you. Your own children, you know very clearly. Whatever be the kind of friends that they have, they are exactly like that. If the friends have to go somewhere, he will have the great urge to do that. If they don't like it, he will also won't do it. So at that stage, for them, the friends are most important. So also with us, our company, the kind of people whom we deal with, they influence us a lot. The action, the behavior, the taste, the values, the preferences, and most of the things are influenced by the friends around. So seeking the right company is important for us to move further. Satsu sangaha satsangaha. Satsu means in the right thing. Satvastuni sangaha. Having the association with the right kind of people who have the right kind of knowledge. In today's world, it is so difficult to get. Oh, Swamiji, we have Asta channel, Shraddha channel, so many things are there. What I have seen is they put it on and go somewhere. Some people have a wonderful idea. I put Asta channel, Swamiji, so that the house becomes holy. Who is listening? the chair, the table, and then sofa and other thing. What are you doing? I am watching Hollywood beat in my room. Some people put the chanting on the in the house, but they are doing something else. In my puja room, chanting goes on, Swamiji. Who will doing the tape recorder? The CD is doing it. Arey bhai, you are supposed to do that. So, satsanga is you are physically being there where the good thoughts are being thought out or discussed. Nowadays we have online puja. You can do puja online. Or you send money to Tirupati and they will do puja for you. The priest is definitely getting money. Nothing happens to you. You have to be there present doing the puja, then only it is of benefit. When you go to any shop, they have pictures of all these food items, right? Go there, look at it and come back home, finished. Hey, you have to buy and eat it. By looking at it, you will not get anything. Your hunger will not be appeased by just looking at the picture. When you do the physical, then there is a greater benefit than somebody else is doing and you are watching. You have to eat or you got everybody eating. Swamiji, I just went to a restaurant, saw everybody eating, came back home. So, being in the company of good people is to learn. That's why he says, Sangas Satsu Vidhiyatam. And what is the effect of this satsanga? Bhagavato Bhaktihi Dhradhiyatam. Slowly, there is certain amount of firmness in devotion to God. The bottom line or the end result of all this satsanga is to create more and more love for the Lord who is in our own heart. If that doesn't happen, you're only become a scholar. You're just listening. Nothing is happening. Between the ears, everything is empty. So where the love for the Lord takes place, and that takes place only when association is there. If you are saying that this is my friend, that did not happen only one day. Within a day it is not. Over a period of time when you associate with that person, learn about what he or she feels, and slowly over a period of time, your thought is alike, your actions are similar, your tastes are same. Then there is a more and more proximity and affinity. In the same way, when the good thoughts are being spoken and discussed, and then thoughts that relevant to the devotion to God is more and more, then there is a closer proximity to the Lord within. Bhagavan says, I am not far away from you at all. You are far away, what can you do? Samoham sarva bhuteshu name dveshosti na priyaha. I am same in all, I don't have anybody to hate, anybody to love. But you stay away from me and suffer. So, constant association with good thoughts by the people who have good thoughts makes you come closer to your own goodness. So, Sangas Satsu Vidhiyatam Bhagavato Bhaktir Dhridadiyatam. Dhridatva, that firmness, the steadfastness and love for God takes place. I think I have to conclude now. Alright, so go back home with that thought, and we will meet again in the next session. Alright. Thank you.